bank than save more to invest more. This is very critical. Saving is critical. Saving is good. But do more savings, not just to keep your money there. Consider savings for investment purposes. These are two different areas. It's one thing to save, it's another to invest. Investment is much more profitable than just saving. Saving is just help you keep your money. Okay, I get 10,000 naira every month, and I don't want to spend it anyhow. So I can save 10,000 naira because my target is 100,000 naira. So I can save 10,000 naira to achieve 100,000 naira. Once I achieve 100,000 naira, I move from savings to investment. Investing the 100,000 naira to something that will give me more profits at the end of the day. Then you must understand the dynamics of savings and investment. This is very, very, very critical. Now, let's quickly look at this. Genesis chapter 41. This is the standard from the Bible. I could actually recommend. Genesis chapter 41, from verse 33 to 34. Is it possible? Can we quickly read it? Genesis chapter 41. I want us to go through it so that we have a better understanding of what the Bible is talking about. Okay, 41, I read from verse 33. Now, therefore, that's talking about the story of Joseph when he appeared before Pharaoh and he went to interpret dreams for Pharaoh. And then now, therefore, let's look out a man, this discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this. Let him appoint officers over the land and take up the 5th part of the land. How many parts? How many parts? That's 1/5, right? The 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. This was a proposal from Joseph that worked. And I believe the same thing can work at any time. Same thing can work at any time. So, if you want to do savings, the recommended portion is do 1/5. Sometimes it may be too small, but at least 1/5 of your income. Meaning, if your income is 100,000 naira, what is 1/5? 20. So at least you should be able to do 20 of your income and put it aside for savings. I understand also, in case you are thinking that the environment where we are, the 100,000 is not even enough. And the reason why it's not enough is because we are not practicing this. And it will never be enough until we critically practice this. Now, for some of us who are into business, and then some of us who are trying to start a business, I recommend what I call the Pareto's principles. That's the 80-20 principle, which has to do with you taking from your proceed. Take 80% back. That's what we talk about, investment and reinvestment. Take 80% back into the business. For example, if you do a business transaction and you have the profit of, let's say, 200,000 naira. I hope you know that the money you use to do business is not the same thing as the profit you make. For sometimes, I sell a product and they pay me 500,000 naira for the product. You need to consider how much it costs you to buy that product in the first instance. They move it aside. If it costs me 350,000, that means my profit is at least 150,000 naira. So that 150,000 naira, wisdom says, take only 20% of that money for your enjoyment. If at all you need to enjoy anything at all. And then push the 80% back into the business. You know, here, Joseph advised, repeatedly do this for 7 years. And if you try it consistently, 20%, or in business, reinvest 80%, reinvest 80%, and do consistently for 7 years, I can assure you, by the end of the 7th year, you will have had some money enough to trade with. And that's a secret. The challenge is when you get the money, that's when you begin to think it's time for enjoyment. No, it's not time for enjoyment. Because let me quickly sound this note of warning. Just not too long before now, we had what we called recession, which was everywhere. Right? I'm sure we're aware of that. But let me quickly say this to you again. I'm not a prophet of doom, but going by history, we need to know that another recession is coming. It's better you prepare your mind for it. You can't pray against it. You can't fast against it. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is to prepare yourself for it. Like I say, the best time to prepare is before the future arrives. You don't plan for the future in the future. So it's not when the future comes and says, okay, so let me begin to plan. It's already late. So the best thing to do is to strategically position yourself before the next recession will come. At that time, when people are complaining of recession, a lot of people are smiling to the bank, making all kind of money. People who are trading in dollars. I mean, it was a big money for so many people. Now dollar is selling for 359, 360. At that time, there was a time I bought dollar for 500 naira to $1. So you can imagine if I have a lot of money now and buy at 359 and I just leave it and wait for the time that it will grow to 500. I'll be money. Let us assume by chance I'm able to do like $100,000. So you multiply that by what we come on it. That's the best way to think and plan for the future. So recession is coming. And it's better we plan for it. So do 1/5 if you are going to do savings. And for some of us who are students, I'm sure whichever way, how bad it may be, you have what we call pocket money. Right? Some of us who are youth here, we have what we call pocket money. So when they give you, it's not the best time to buy the latest this, the latest that, and all those things. And let me say this again. I'm begging you in the name of God. One of the things that can kill anybody is to begin to think of other people as if they are better than you. I have some of our friends then who they were doing all kind of things, and then it was as if, this one has gone, this one has gone. The reality is nobody has gone anywhere. There is nothing anybody has achieved that you cannot achieve in life.